The homie Q Vera showing a little love. Also, he says, running back Kaleb Johnson from Iowa is the answer. Has to learn better pass pro, but bro is a guy. No, shout out to Kaleb Johnson. I like Kaleb a lot, man. Silky smooth running, man. Love his change of direction. Love his vision, short area quickness, ability to take it all the way the distance. Yeah, I like all of that. You brought up the pass protection. I'm always back and forth with young guys in their pass protection coming out of college. A lot of them dudes suck at it because they've never been asked to do it at any stage. Why? Because they've been the nicest running back at every stage. Typically, by the time they get to us, they've had to kick a lot of butt. Even the Jalen Warrens of the world, right? A guy that was an undrafted free agent still ran for 3,000 yards in high school. You're like, bro, in a season you did what? How do you run for that many yards in a year? But that's the type of thing, man. It's like everybody comes from all these different places, big, small, and they've kicked so much tail. So by the time you get here, it's like, yeah, man, when have you been asked to be the blocker? When have you been asked to not have the ball in your hands? When have you been asked to not be the guy? So that is the part that those guys have to learn. And that's why you hear the drill, backs on backers. Coach Tomlin puts a lot of emphasis on it because he understands that right there. In order for a Kaleb Johnson to stay on the field, in order for a Kaleb Johnson to thrive and be the type of player that we think he is capable of being, he has to improve there. But I look at guys like Le'Veon Bell and what they developed into. I look at a D'Angelo Williams and what he developed into from pass blocking. Heck, you look at Jalen Warren and what he's also developed into from a pass blocking standpoint. That comes from the repetition. That comes from the intentional focus that the Steelers put on it. And I think that Kaleb Johnson would benefit from that as well. And that would ultimately just help him out, man, along the line. So I like Kaleb Johnson, man. You brought up the pass pro. My other thing that I will say is ball security. He has to, make sure you keep that rock the way it's supposed to, man. But other than that, man, I like his game a lot, man. I think that he's definitely one of those dudes. To me, honestly, he gives me Aaron Jones. And I said ball security on him. I'm thinking about Dylan Sampson. My apologies on that. But what I will say with Kaleb Johnson, he reminds me a little bit of Aaron Jones. Like when you watch his running style, that's the guy that he kind of puts me in the mind of. And Aaron Jones obviously was in Minnesota this past season, was in Green Bay for a couple of years prior to that. To me, I think he has a lot of similarities in his game to how Aaron Jones runs now. And you obviously know, man, a couple of years ago when Aaron Jones was a free agent, he was one of the guys that I was very intrigued about us getting. I think that was the year we actually ended up drafting Najee. But Aaron Jones is definitely one of them dudes, man. He nice with it, man. So when I think of Kaleb Johnson as the comp to that, yeah, I like it a lot, man. Definitely like that.